I just made 35,000 US dollars in one day by trading Meta, and this was not just luck or gambling. This was a calculated high probability trade setup that I was able to execute really, really well. If you have ever wondered how traders like me can catch these kind of trades, because it's calculated risk to reward. I put in risk on this trade, but the reward was insanely higher than the risk. I'm going to show you guys everything in this video, so make sure to watch this video till the end for my entries, exits, game plan, executions, because 35k is actually life-changing profits. I remember from 6 years ago, 35k is more than my yearly salary from 6 years ago. So it's actually life-changing profits that you can make with calculated risk to reward if you are a trader. All right, let's rewind a bit and see why did I even choose Meta for the day. So Meta actually reported earnings on Wednesday this week after market close, and we saw a positive reaction, which was kind of expected because Meta has been in an insane rally towards the upside. You guys can see just bull flags push towards the upside. If you look at the weekly chart, it's going to be insane, right? Look at the weekly chart, push towards the upside, pull back, push towards the upside, pull back, push towards the upside, pull back. Because I just feel like Meta, there's a lot of positive sentiment surrounding this stock, because I definitely feel like Meta and Nvidia are the only two mega cap remaining where the founder is actually the CEO of the company still. Like Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, he was the founder of Facebook, and then Nvidia, Jensen Huang, he was the co-founder of Nvidia back in 1992 or 1994, something like that, before I was even born, which is insane. But if you look at the other mega caps like Microsoft, Bill Gates is not the CEO anymore. If you look at Apple, Steve Jobs is not the CEO anymore. So I feel like Meta and Nvidia, the visionary is still with the company. So I'm still bullish on these two stocks in the long term. And we can see because what Meta is doing with Meta AR, virtual reality and all these things, it's pretty positive. With Meta is trying to push the boundaries of technology, and that's what we want from an innovative and QQQ listed stock, right? So that's why I feel like Meta just had a really bullish sentiment starting 2023. Everyone is talking about Nvidia, but if you look at Meta has also moved 700% since 2022. Yes, Nvidia is the insane stock of the stock market, right? But look at Meta. If you look at Nvidia, yes, in 2024 it had 200% move, and since the bottom right here, I think it has also moved 1000%. But Nvidia, it's a bit, everyone is talking about this stock, right? Meta is something that is still a sleeper stock. Not everyone is talking about it, but this stock has also moved 600% in the past 2 years, which is insane. Let's also take a look at the Discord group, my game plan. I mentioned that Meta was my main watch for the day. If you look right here, this member had his first 5 figures month from trading, which is insane. Having a first 5-figure month is a big achievement, a big milestone, because personally, I remember back in 2021 when I quit my job, that was my goal. If I can make 5 figures from day trading consistently, I will be able to quit my job. And it's a huge milestone, because from 5 figures to 6 figures, it's going to take a while. It's a big jump, but 5 figure is a huge milestone you can have in your trading journey. That's what this member had this month. Very happy for him. And you guys can see a lot of members, they printed good amount of money on Netflix and Meta. We also had Netflix on the game plan. You guys can see same game plan as yesterday. We have been tracking this stock for the past 2-3 days. But if you go back and main trading chat, we can see that also one member, he lost a bit of money. We can see $1,000 loss. So it's not about bells and whistles always. And that's the beauty of being in a community where you can share your losses and wins as well. Even if you go back, and you guys can see I had a loss this week. So I lost $5,000, something like that. So that's the beauty of a community with serious and real traders trading real money. And if you guys want to join our community, the results speak for itself. You guys can use the promo code 2025, and that promo code will be expiring in the next 2 days this weekend. So if you guys want to join, this is the perfect time, because we really do promo codes. We do 1 or 2 promo codes in a year. And the last promo code we did was in January 2024. So if you miss out on this deal, you might be waiting for the next 1 year maybe. So now my trades, coming back to the daily chart, we were gapping up and we had good 700 psychological level, which was approximately the pre-market high as well. And we had a push heading into the earnings. So I knew that it's already extended heading into the earnings. So we might actually, the good earnings were actually factored in on this stock, because we just had a good push towards the upside. The past 5 days, it had green candles heading into the earnings. So it has to be a quick move in and out. And I told the Discord members as well, the community members, that if you get a good push towards the upside, 700, 710, it might go for 710 as well. And it might move the ATR for the day, which is about $20, and which is the average true range, how much the stock moves on a daily basis on an average. Let's now take a look at the 5-minute chart and look at the after hours and the pre-market action. After hours, they reported the earnings. We can see we had an insane push towards the upside after the earnings, and then it was just consolidating in the pre-market, which is good. So now Heading into the open, we can see that in the pre-market, we had a push towards the upside heading into the open. We can see around 8:30, 8:40 a.m. We actually saw a bit of an increase in volume in the pre-market right here, and it had a push towards the upside, which is what I want to see. I want to see high volume heading into the open. After the open, we dipped a bit and just had an insane rally towards the upside. And in this one candle, the premiums moved 300%. I took my first position at 9:30 a.m., but only 20 contracts. My position sizing was approximately $10,000 because I knew I had deja vu on this stock. I'm going to show you guys. But this stock, after this gap up, I was expecting a bit of a sell-off and push towards the upside. But if in case it rallies right off the open, I want to be a part of it. And that's why I kept my position sizing small. And I was like, if it gets above 700, I can add to my position. But off the open, especially with the stock after the earnings, and if you trade options specifically, the IV is high. So the IV loses a lot of value. The premiums drop a lot in value. So on those 20 contracts itself, I lost approximately $4,000. On those 20 contracts, I entered at 9:30 a.m. towards the close of this candle. When I saw that this candle is actually closing like a doji, and I exited right here, losing $4,000. After that, I just waited for the next few minutes. So as I mentioned earlier, I had deja vu on this stock because if we go back and look at the price action from 25th of April 2024, this was after the Q1 earnings in 2024 in April. After the earnings, they actually beat the earnings, but the stock was gapping down, and I was still bullish on this stock because this gap down could have been bought back up, and that's what happened. And we can see similar kind of price action. Off the open, we had a sell-off and then we had a push towards the upside. And that's why I had deja vu on this stock that we might drop off the open. And then later on, if we get a dip and rip setup, I want to be a part of it. And then I can increase my position sizing. I'm going to show you guys everything, my entries and exits. The amazing thing is that I actually took this trade. I'm going to show you guys a screenshot of my trade from last year. You guys can see right here. I did the same thing last year as well. I entered off the open, exited right here for a loss right here, and then I caught this push towards the upside. Look at this 5-minute chart and this 1-minute chart. Take a screenshot of this video right now. And then I'm going to show you guys what happened now after approximately 9 months or something like that. We had a dip off the open. We had a squeeze above the VWAP, and then we had a push towards the upside. Keep that in mind. Take a screenshot. Let's now take a look at the 1-minute chart after this earnings. And we can see that on the 1-minute chart, what happened? Similar kind of price action. Compare this 1-minute chart price action to the one I just showed you from 2024. We had a dip off the open. We had a dip off the open. Suddenly we saw a bullish engulfing bar on the 1-minute chart. We saw the same thing right here and then push towards the upside. So this is what experience gives you. And that's why I just remembered this trade. I was like, this was a really good trade. It might do the same thing this time around as well. And we just had a push towards the upside. We had a push towards the upside again. So the history repeats itself in the stock market. And the more experience you gain by trading the stock market, the screen time, I have been trading for the past 6 years now, the better you get. So after my first entry, I just waited for a while. Then on this candle, when I saw this 690 dip is getting bought back up, we squeezed back above the VWAP, which is the blue line right here. I entered 20 contracts right here, and my plan was to add to my position if eventually we go for an opening range break. So now let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. So my first entry was VWAP squeeze. I actually have an entry criteria for this setup. It's dip and rip setup. So my first entry was VWAP squeeze. I entered at the break of the VWAP. As soon as we broke above the high, near the high, before the break of high of the day, it's called an opening range break. So we made an opening range of the open, and I added to my position right here and caught this push towards the upside. And I'm going to show you guys my entries and exits, and the opportunities in the market are insane. My first entry on my premiums was approximately like $3.5 or something like that. I'm going to show you again. I don't remember exactly. Next entry, I added to my position around $5 in the same candle itself. Those premiums went from $5 to $9. $10, $11. The peak was approximately $11. That means the premiums moved from approximately $3.5 to around $9 in 2 to 3 minutes, which is approximately 200% return on the premiums. And that's the beauty of day trading and calculated risk to reward. My risk was approximately 30% on the premiums, and the premiums moved 200% in my favor. Here is my TradeZilla and my stats for the day. We can see at 9:30 a.m. my first entry, 53 seconds. I lost 33% on the premiums. It was because of IV as well. When I entered, the IV was around 120%. So if you guys trade options, you know the IV dropped from 120 to 70%. Even though my exit was not too bad, honestly, if you look at the chart, but the premiums dropped like a stone. If you compare the chart of this stock compared to the premiums, you guys can see the premiums dropped a lot on the second minute itself. We can see that on the second minute candle, it did not even make a new low. but the premiums dropped a lot. Compare the first 2 minutes of this chart, the premium chart, to the chart of the price action. You guys will know what I'm talking about. So that's why I lost like $4,000, and that is the reason my position sizing was only 20 contracts off the open, not like 70 or 100 contracts. That was on the next trade. Let's go back and see my second trade. I took, this was in total 107% return, which is insane. My risk was approximately $5,000 on this trade, and I made $35,000. So again, calculated risk to reward. My realized R multiple was 6.83, approximately 7R. Risk $5,000 to make $35,000, 7R risk to reward trade. My stop loss was $4 on the premiums, because if you look at the executions, my first 20 contracts, I entered at 3.97. The next 50 contracts I added at 5.06. Same candle, 38 on 39 minute. The next candle, on this candle, when we had a push towards the upside, the premiums went all the way from $5 to $9, $10, $11. I kept taking my partials. And then I took another add on the stock, which I'm going to show you right here. I added to my position. Let's go back to the daily journal and see this entry. We can see that I added to my position right here on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, I added on this drop right here on this candle, caught this push towards the upside. Not a big winner, 23%, but my position sizing was only like 15 contracts, because I knew that this stock moved a lot off the open. We might as well reject from 710, and that's what happened. But if you look at the second trade and the entry criteria, you guys can see, as I mentioned, we had a VWAP squeeze. So this was a dip and rip setup. So we had a dip under the VWAP. Where is it? Yeah. We had a dip under the VWAP, and then we bounced. So it's called a VWAP squeeze for me. And then after that, I added to my position, which was an opening range break. So I satisfied both the conditions of my setup. This was a catalyst play, because it was a news catalyst play. 5 minute setup, yes, we had an opening range break, and this was a with catalyst play. So overall, really good stats on this trade. Happy with it. And I practically caught the top this time around. In my last few videos, I mentioned that I'm exiting my winners a bit too early, and I think on this trade, I did a really good job holding my winners, practically catching the high of the day. And just for transparency, I'm also going to show you guys my PNL for the day that I posted right here. You guys can see I made $34,000 for the day. You can actually manually enter your trades on TradeZilla, but you can't fake this. This is actually interactive brokers. You can't fake the entries and exits right here. 34,000, all my entries and exits right here. And then on the book map as well, you guys can see our members also killed it, which I showed you. On the book map as well, we got rejected from 708, 8.5, because we had new sellers come into the picture, and that's how we capitalize using the market depth, the technical, news catalyst, and including everything in your game plan. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you were able to catch Netflix or Meta from today, because they both had insane rally towards the upside, and then they sold off nicely as well. Meta had a nice push towards the downside. If you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you are new. Also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of behind the scenes, my entries and exits, a lot of good stuff on Instagram as well. The link will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.